Hey guys, welcome to another day. In today's video, we will talk about how to add a text to your edit. There's multiple ways to add text in Davinci Resolve, and in today's videos, we will talk about one of them, and we will talk about the other options in future videos. To start with, go to your Edit tab, and from the Edit tab, go to the Effects, and from the Effects, go to the Categories and select Text. These are the options we have for the text. And for now, we will talk about the regular text. After we added the text, like any graphics you add to your timeline, you can extend the time, like the duration of it. If you click on it and if your inspector is open, if it's not, then click here to open it. And here are all the options you have in the simpler version of the text. Here you add your title in this box. And you can add multiple lines. It doesn't have to be one line. Down here, you change your font. So if you don't like this font, you can select another one. And underneath it, the font face, I like to pick bold. And all the options like underneath this is similar to what you get in a word processing software. So after the font face is the color, if you want to change the color to black or any other color. And then we have the size. Here you can change the size of your font. After that, there is the tracking. The tracking is simply the spacing between the letters. And then the line spacing, so if you have multiple lines, you can change the spacing between those. And then there's the font style, the font case, and the font case is simply whether it's all caps or title caps. Then you have the alignment. After that, we have the anchor, which is set to the middle in both vertically and horizontally. You will see the pivot in action once we start working on the zoom and on rotation, especially rotation. Underneath this, we have the position, which is simply the position of your text here. Then you have the zoom, which is simply another way to change the size of your text. And rotation angle, so you can rotate. So let me show you the effect of the anchor if we were to change it. Now if I were to rotate, as you can tell, it's rotating from the middle. But if I were to change this one, which is the horizontal anchor, if I were to change it from the middle to this edge, which is the left, the rotation will happen from this point. It will shift my text, so if you want, you could change the position and then see how the rotation is happening. Totally different. Same thing for the vertical, but it's not going to be as obvious. Then we have the drop shadow. The drop shadow is activated, but you can't see it now, and that's simply because the offset is set to 0. So once we start adding an offset, you can see it there. The blur is how sharp it is. You can take it all the way to 100 or down to 1. And then we have the opacity. In the stroke, we have the color for the stroke, and we have the size of the stroke. It's activated, but because the size is 0, we can see it now. But once I start adding value to the size, here it is, you can see it. Same thing for the background, and the background is simply like a rectangle behind your text. If I change the height from 0 to whatever value, you see it there. If you don't like how it's aligned with the text, just go to the center value and change the Y and the X to your liking. And we have the corner radius, which is the roundness of the corners. Underneath it, we have the opacity, if you want it to be opaque or more transparent. And we have finally the outline color. So if we go to something like red and we change the width, that's what you get in the outline. And that's all the option you need to know about the text. Finally, we have this other tab, which is the video. These are options to the container, not to the text itself. So this is the container, and similar to how he has it for the video tracks. So if I click on it, we have composite, transform, cropping, dynamic zoom. But then finally, we have those 3 options that you can't find it here. And that's simply because you don't need the stabilization and the other options we will find on a video track. The only option like interesting that you cannot find in the text for the most part is the pitch and yaw and the flip. These are interesting, so if you wanted to flip it, you can flip it. If you want to add like a perspective to it, then you can do that here. That's it for today's video. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload new videos. If you have any question about the title, leave it in the comment, and see you in the next one.